I can't remember. I've done so much Magic for people, man. I don't remember like what I've done for you personally. Have I shown you the 10 card trick?
The 10 card trick. No, not that I remember. Not that you were like specifically introduced it before.
Okay, well,
let's see it.
We'll try it out.
Okay.
So it uses 10 cards because it's a 10 card trick.
Makes sense.
If you hold your hand out for me, check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Put your other hand on top. Now I just want you to take a deep breath, okay? I'm going to go nowhere near the 10 cards again. And I want you to give me a number between 2 and 5 when I snap my fingers, okay? 1, 2, 3.
3.
3?
Yeah.
Watch. And now if you turn your hands over, I'll go nowhere near the cards. Check it out.
What? Check what out?
Open your hand. And if you spread them,
No.
show the camera.
Wait, it was a 10 card trick though. What? Okay, does Donovan, we've known each other for quite a few years now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just Quad Cities is small.
Yeah.
So we have a ton of mutual friends. I've known you to be passionate about a few things over the years, and very active in those endeavors once you really like lock in on something.
Correct, yeah.
And so that's always been cool to watch, and always been interesting. Well, what's Donovan up to? And no matter what it's been over the years, it's wholehearted.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so when I know you moved away for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and then you moved back to town, and then just saw you into some magic, man, and just doing your thing, and so had to reach out and give you some props because that's super cool.
I appreciate you, man.
I love to see young entrepreneurs, young people passionate enough about things to share it, and then aware enough of how special it is to charge for it. You know?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother level. So that being said, you always been this passionate magician here in front of us. Has that been the Donovan?
No, definitely not. As you said, I've had different endeavors. So I actually, the two most passionate things that I was more passionate about than magic before I picked up magic was gaming. And at 18, I ended up being semi-professional. I had a sponsor, and my team made it to Canada, and we represented America in this tournament for this online first-person shooter. But then I ended up having a family, so I had to kind of choose my family or gaming, because when you're doing competitive gaming, you have to be on it all the time, because for every second that you're not, someone else is. So I went with family. And then after I had my kid and stuff like that, I fell into music. A big reason I fell into music, though, is I had a best friend named Bobby Sanchez, and we would make music together. Unfortunately, he was shot and killed, and because he was taken from us, since he was my partner in music, a lot of the times I would write the hook and he would write the verse, or I would write the verse and he would write the hook. And so I was just creating all these songs that were never finished because it was Bobby's job to finish it, and then eventually I just dropped off music. And a lot of people told me that's not what Bobby would have wanted, but without Bobby here, I just had no inspiration to do it. He was the one that would hit me up every morning and be like, we're going to make a song, we're going to make it, we're going to hit the radio, etc. And so without having that every day, it was easy to drop music, and I ended up dropping music. When I was a kid, though, 9 to 13, I fell in love with magic, and I did magic a lot. My dad, Jason, showed me David Blaine, and that was like the biggest inspiration for street magic and the reason that I do street magic. What he did was mind-blowing to me, and what was more mind-blowing to me is the reactions that he got, and not just the reactions, but the connection that he was making. So at a young age, I would go to the dollar store and get like magic tricks and stuff that weren't very good, but I would practice them a lot, and I would do them to my friends and family, and I would get those same kind of reactions and those same kind of connections. And then eventually it just kind of fell off. I just kind of fell off of it. 2 years ago, though, I was watching Penn and Teller fool us, and I saw an act, and I thought that I could do that act. So I like took out everything that I needed to redo the act, and I basically figured it out. I sent it to my friends, and they were kind of mind blown that I was able to do that. And after that point, I just kind of never stopped. So I've just been pushing for this last 2 years and putting my all into it. But everything that I do, as you say, I hyper focus on. So when I was doing music, that's all I did. I'd wake up, roll over, and just like start recording music, and then watch other music videos and study what they're doing, etc., and just revolve my life around music. TikTok wasn't a thing back then, or if it was, it wasn't as popular, but my For You page would have been all music stuff, right? But now if you hop on my For You page of TikTok, it's all magic stuff because I only surround myself in whatever I want to do.
Yeah, it's very evident when you're passionate about something, because it does, it becomes the forefront. It's very obvious the forefront of what you're doing and where you're heading, what you're passionate about. And that's what we're here to talk about today. These interviews, I like to find people who are as passionate about things like yourself. And we can start there. What does passion mean to you, like in that sense?
Oof, that's a deep question. When I think about passion and I think about someone being passionate about something, I think about someone being willing to give whatever it takes to achieve whatever they're passionate about. If they're truly passionate about it. If you're a rapper and you're truly passionate about your craft, you're willing to do whatever it takes to put your music out in front of whoever. I watched the Kanye documentary, and he was in music record places trying to play his music on the radio on their sound system, and they were trying to kick him out, and he would just repeatedly do that at places. So, and he was passionate about it, so he was doing whatever he could to get his music out there. And so that's when I hear that's what I see, when someone has a great talent or whatever, I can tell that they're passionate about it, because practice isn't fun.
Yeah.
If it in my opinion, real true practice is not fun. It's doing something, looking at what you did, seeing what you did wrong, and then doing it over and trying to improve what you did wrong. And you continually do that until there's no imperfections, or there's close to no imperfections, because nothing can be perfect. And so doing that over and over again, whether it's basketball, shooting a layup 1,000 times in a row, it's not fun. You might love the sport, but that's not fun. But what's fun is that end goal, right?
Yeah.
You shoot 1,000 free throws 7 days a week. On that seventh day, your free throw by muscle memory it's going to look pretty nice.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Repetition, time, technique.
Right.
All important, because they add to, they eventually equal a product. They equal a result.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a matter of discipline, which is super hard. It's a matter of self-control, super hard. And it's a matter, to me, I think of like being able to look back and self-examine without judging and without feeling shitty about the things you did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then there's really where you're able to learn, because that's what it boils down to, is learning from all those reps. What are you doing in the pursuit of that passion? And for you, is it trying to make that a career?
So, let me back up a little bit.
Sure.
I am passionate enough to make it my career, but I'm a big perfectionist. And if multiple people wouldn't have came to me and told me that they were willing to give me a shot at their event and, you know, like pay me for my services, then I probably wouldn't have pursued it yet. Watching other magicians and stuff, you know, some magicians practice, you know, 7-8 years before they go out and get these paid gigs, and I completely understand why they do that and things like that. A lot of the tricks I don't think that I have perfected or anything like that, but when I do the magic for the people, it's the reaction and the connection. And the reason that I like magic is a lot of magic is psychology. And what a lot of people don't realize is, you know, when I'm done doing magic for them, they tell me I should go on America's Got Talent. I'm as good as Shin Lim and things like that, which is, you know, I appreciate them saying that, but humbly, when you actually, you know magic and you're around magic, I'm not as good as them, but because it works on psychology, they like me. And since they like me, they think my magic is amazing. And that's what I love about magic. If you really connect with the person and build on that connection and then show them magic, 9 times out of 10, the magic effect, they're going to like more, or the reaction's going to be stronger. So I know I got off on a little tangent there, but I am passionate enough to turn it into my career, and that is the main thing that I want to do, is quit my normal 9 to 5 and do it full time. Yeah. But I only just recently started pushing to do it professionally and get all these gigs because people were willing. They were asking for business cards and things like that. So I felt like that was the universe telling me that I am ready, even though I felt like I wasn't ready, regardless of my passion level.
Got you. Being in the magic business then, is that an easy market to break into? Like, how is the saturation of it in the area you live?
I think it's a little rough for where I'm at. It's not too popular, and because I'm new and the Quad Cities is so small, there's already some established people. So in a way, it kind of feels like when I get a gig, I'm stepping on some people's toes. You know, I have a mentor and I don't want to step on his toes or anything like that. And that's out of respect. It's not like me being scared. It's not them messaging me anything. It's just out of respect. If it's already a niche market and there's only 4 other guys, I want business, obviously, but I'm not trying to say, you know, screw those other guys. They've been building this for so long, you know what I mean? So I think it's tough because it's such a niche market. And I heard a magician say a great quote. It was like, I'm gonna butcher it, I can't say it word for word, but to the effect it was basically, you have to be passionate about magic because it's not the easiest job to do, and it's not the easiest way to make money. So why else would you do it? You know what I mean? Why else would you sit in front of the mirror and practice for hours and hours and hours unless you were passionate? Because it's not the easiest thing to go into a restaurant and be like, you know, I'm a magician, I can alleviate your wait times or whatever, especially because in this area, there's only like 2 restaurants that do that. So there's not a giant successful business model that you can say, oh, well, look at this restaurant, they do this and they're this successful, right? You can only say, oh, well, look at this restaurant in California, or look at this restaurant in New York. And they're like, well, that's California or New York. So you have to sell yourself more than the magic in a way. The magic is for the people, but on the business side, when you're talking to people and stuff, that's you selling yourself and selling your personality. And I think that's what makes it so hard on the magic side for some people to get business and things like that, is because they have to like you. They did a study. They put I think it was 100 magicians or no, I'm sorry. 1 magician, and what they did was they made the magician very likable, very friendly, you know, very social, down to earth, and made him purposely do bad magic. And almost no one bat an eye. Everyone reacted as if he was David Blaine. But then they had another magician come up who was arrogant, an asshole, cocky, and did bad magic. No one reacted, heckled, etc. And it goes to show you, if they like you, you know what I mean? They're gonna, more than likely, they're gonna like your magic.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, so it's like you're selling yourself when you say that I'm a magician. Like, yeah, the magic is gonna come after you're booked, but before that, you can't rely on magic to get you the gig or anything like that. And I think that's the tough side of breaking into the business aspect of it.
Yeah, and I've found that to be a similar theme across monetizing a passion is you have to start wearing many hats. And you have to become your own accountant, your own marketing team, your own audio visual team, your own
Right.
graphic designer, all of that, including interpersonal relations. And a lot of people aren't really good at that. They're hard. It's
Right.
hard. But if you find that easy, that's a leg up on a lot of competition then, because being able to find common ground with people and being able to just vibe super easy, make connections with people, that is a very like bonus almost if you're in the business world and if you're trying to monetize things.
Sorry.
So like hearing you talk, you like genuine human connection.
Absolutely.
You like making people feel really positive feelings, like blowing their minds. That's a really cool experience. There's a lot of different routes to have those feelings and to make those connections. Why did you pick magic, or what is it about magic for you?
For me, what it's about is so I really like doing magic for the ages of like 15 and up. I can do middle school, but 15 and up is what I really like, especially the adults. And it's just because there's not a lot of things that you can see in life that will make you react like a little kid again. That's really like the easiest and most simple way to say it. You know what I mean? Like when you see a really good magic trick or a really good illusion and someone's mind is like breaking or whatever, they're being almost brought back to like a child, right? Because when you're an adult, you really think about it, and you take a card and you vanish it, and you see it vanished, you know that magic is not real, right? But when it's done the right way, your mind for just a second, what if, right? And I live for that what if moment, because that translates to the whoa, and I live for those moments. The small reactions are fine too, but I live for the sense of wonder that I can bring people through magic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so other than just trying to figure out the business aspect of turning your passion into a career, because you're when you decide to do that, you're forced to learn those aspects. You're forced to learn those different skills.
Sure.
What's one of the biggest hurdles you faced in your pursuit of your passion right now?
I think still the biggest hurdle is just because it's so niche in the area that I'm in. People aren't even, I feel like if it was another hobby or something, I don't know what, let's just say live singing or anything like that, I feel like more people would be willing to even just sit down with you. But a lot of people, they say they see magician and the subject, you know what I mean? Or, oh, I'm a magician, and they're instantly just turned off to the thought. And it's not even because of magic or because they're a magician. It's because we're in an area where it's so unheard of. You know what I mean? If I was in California and I go into a busy restaurant, bigger chance that there's a magician working tables. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
yeah,
because it's so unheard of, when I do approach a business and I'm like, oh, I'm an event magician, specialize in walking around, most of the time they're already turned off to the idea because they're just like, magician? No one around here wants to see a magician. And for the most part, they're right. We don't have no magic shops or anything like that. So it's the opposite of a saturated market where I'm at. It's a dehydrated market.
Gotcha. So that's kind of almost an advantage. You can look to bigger metros, East or West Coast, and see what's going on there, because there's a good chance things are about like 5 to 10 years behind here. And and there's not a lot of people trying some cool things that are popping off in other major metro areas. So like,
Right.
here you go, man. Just create it. Might as well. Perfect launching point.
Yeah.
And a great place to be for things like that.
I think you got to start somewhere, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, absolutely. What's one of your biggest lessons you've learned, be it in life, business, or in magic specifically, in this pursuit that you've faced so far?
I've been really big since I had this one ex-girlfriend. Not even going to say her name, give her no clout, nothing like that. But she was the most negative person I've ever met in my life. By the time it was 9 a.m., she was already like crying. And not depressed crying, but crying because she was mad about something, or someone added her and she's got to post on Facebook talking trash about the person that added her, trying to figure out why they added her, just like all this drama. And after I was with her, I decided that I was never going to be, actually not even after I was with her, while I was with her, I decided I was never going to be that negative. And I've just always been positive, a very positive person. I have a pretty crazy past, and maybe I wasn't positive then, but ever since, I turned a new leaf, for lack of better words, I've always been positive, and I'm always trying to be positive, optimistic, glass half full. And I feel like if you do that, if you remain positive and you keep putting positive like energy into the world, it might sound cliche, but if you keep putting positive energy into the world, you will get it back. You might not know how you're going to get it back. It might look in different forms, etc. But once I started doing that, my life started changing, and for the better.
What's a tip or some advice you'd give a fellow young magician on the rise? Like if you were just going to help them, spare them some pain, save them a trip, or an expense somewhere, just if it's practical or a little bit deeper than that, what's something you'd pass along?
I'll say this, and we'll define a young magician, because a true young magician is just someone who's only young and starting magic. Because and I'll say this right now, there's magicians that are my son's age that are 3,000 times better than me with sleight of hand, misdirection, and all of it, okay? So you can only be young in magic if you're just starting out in magic. But my biggest tip would still be just practice. You have to practice. You have to do it over and over and over and over and over. Nothing that I do is perfected. Nothing that I do is mastered. It won't be mastered until I'm like 70. You know what I mean? It won't be invisible until 30 years from now. But you have to just keep practicing and doing it over. And to add on to practice, because if you ask a lot of magicians, they'll just say practice. But what I'll say to add on to that is not just in front of the mirror, in front of the camera. You have to practice in real life on people. You need to know the reaction, how people are going to react, what they're going to say, and you also need to figure out what you're going to say. I do a lot of things like, on the fly right now and on the spot, but I still follow a basic outline. It's very basic, but I still make sure that I hit these points and say these things because I know that it's going to make people laugh or what have you, whatever it's going to make them do. But I wouldn't know that if I didn't practice on people. You have to do that. And I got lucky because my job right now is basically serving. So every table that I go to, I'm able to practice. And well, I guess I'll build on that too, because I have a friend that I told him that I do that. And he's like, well, how do you go to the table? I just ask him. I don't have like a secret sauce or a secret method or anything. I literally just, I just go like this and I just say, hey, I'm an aspiring magician. Usually people, while they're waiting for their food, get to see some magic. Would you like to see some? I'm just very honest. Like I don't trick them, you know what I mean? I've read that people try to trick them, make them feel comfortable, maybe get to know them and then show them magic. I just ask right off the bat. And the reason I do that is because if you say no harm, no foul, but I want to know right away. Like if my goal is to practice magic, then I should know right away if you want to actually see magic. And if you don't want to see magic, then don't don't show them magic. When I first started, that was something that was hard for me to realize, is not everyone loves magic.
Yeah.
You think so. For the people that like magic, you know, you think that when you see someone vanish a card, you're like, dude, how could how could someone not like this? But there really are people out there that don't care for magic. So you have to remember that and respect that.
Yeah, people are, complicated.
Yeah.
Some people don't like magic. Weird. All right, man. That's pretty much it, dude. Super simple, super painless. Like I said, quick conversation. What's plug yourself? You got website, full name, Facebook, socials, next event, what you do. This is the time for that.
Yeah, okay. So next event, I don't think I actually have one coming up, but I consider myself an event magician. Close up, I do walk around. So if you have an event that you need entertainment, I do, like I said, I do walk around. Usually my specialty is if an event is already going on, let's just say a festival, a dinner, wedding, anything like that, I would go table to table before it starts and entertain the guests with my magic. I got a Snapchat. That's my most popular social media right now, at prynceofmagic. But I also have a Facebook. If you just look up Donavan Daily, got the blue check mark, and it says Prynce right afterwards.
Prynce spelled
Prynce.
There we go.
Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hopefully in like 20, 30 years, people will like surface this and I'll be on like a crazy level and they'll be like, look, this is where Prynce started, right here at New World Vision. Make sure you guys tap in.
Yeah. All right, man. Cool. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.